all to love. Happy to be here with you guys. We're going to do your September 2024 intuitive tarot readings. Please feel free to slow or speed things up if you're not liking the timing of my speakings. I'm an intuitive reader. Been reading tarot for over 5 years and teaching yoga for about 20 years. 15 maybe. Been practicing most of my life. I resonate with you, Capricorn. I'm Capricorn ascendant. I also have my South Node in Capricorn, which I think is part of like the hardcore independent, like, just keep fucking going, you guys. The mountain goat, right? So Capricorn, we're going to look at the energies for September 2024. I did say this, I'm an intuitive reader. It's really important. I encourage you to take what resonates, leave the rest. These are general readings. These are really, dominantly for fun and entertainment. I am no way offering financial or medical advice. Or relationship advice for that matter. Tarot is really just to me divine guidance and loving clarity. I can offer messages that may be resonating with you. Yeah, let's pull some cards for Capricorn. Divine guidance, loving clarity for my Cappy lovers. Divine guidance, loving clarity. What's going on for the Cappies? I mean, we know that Pluto's heading into the final 29th degree of Capricorn. We know as Capricorns that we've been through it, that there's been a huge, possibly multiple transformations. Pluto, I mean, increasingly, the more that I'm working with my own astrological chart, the more that I study about astrology, the more that I input transit information into clients' readings, it's mind-blowing to me, the efficacy of astrology for self-development, or simply just like understanding your soul's relationship to the cosmos in a way that, like, again, affirms an innate knowing, or like represents you. You're like, I get that. Or it can really help to let go of the things that aren't meant for you, like forcing things, or being an overly ambitious go-getter. Oftentimes we have it in our chart that's not like our destiny, that's not our north node, as it were. And once we know that, it can be easier to let go. Like, once we're in our more aligned path, things just work better. Not that like it's all sunshine and rainbows. It's just that personally, looking at one human design, but deeper layers of my own astrology chart, pulling in different aspects, Vedic and sidereal, and really looking at the Placidus and the whole sign, and looking at all these different things and seeing the way the relationship with the planets are interacting. And then knowing how we can kind of work with that energy. It's the thing of being brothers and sisters rather than enemies. Like, looking at the planets as having relationship, right? And then are we communicating with our relationships? Are we in dialogue? Are we open-hearted? Or are we like hiding and sneaking around? And so we've all got that kind of stuff to probably process and or work on. And I think Chiron's doing stuff. So it's a heavy one. Okay, so let's look at your energies. Ooh, as in for cardinal energy in particular. So like Pluto going back these 29 degrees, these are literally like any final power struggles in relationships. Like I'm getting definitely for the Cappies, like, yeah, any old power structure. So to me, that is looking like people that want to control us, people that want to dominate us, the ways in which we sabotage ourselves, the ways in which we don't believe in ourselves. And so we attract people that will dominate and control us because we don't think we're good enough, right? So this is part of Pluto power. Pluto power will take away the things that are not truly powerful so that we can embody greater truth of power, which certainly from my perspective and the all to love perspective and a very compassionate perspective, We want to be able to look at the world via love. That and that of course means perceiving ourselves through the lens of love and compassion as well. Self-compassion is to me just like such a fundamental crux of all this healing stuff. We don't realize the quick ways in which we might start judging ourselves, judging other people. It's real. That's why retreating, taking time out, journaling, gratitude, etc. Like these things are super duper important. And just again, our society, our culture, it doesn't like prioritize self-reflection. It doesn't prioritize processing your emotions. But what we know at this point is that those are freaking valuable for your well-being. Let's get into these cards, you guys. There's some hala hala. You are having success this month, Capricorn. Um, I, so I'm getting this sense of like you're choosing it as well. Like you're. It's almost like I'm going for gold. I feel like Cam White might have said something about that too. Like something there. That's an aspect of manifestation, glow up, whatever. You choose it. I am not going back to that person. That's a choice. I am going back to that person. That's a choice. I am going to be successful. That's a choice. Or I am successful. Six of Wands is success and recognition, star card, dream come true, world reverse, everything that you've worked toward. Nine of Wands, right? Nine of Wands is like hala, like you have built something. You have created these walls. You've created these structures and you're gosh darn exhausted. Almost to the point of maybe feeling like you don't have it in you. Magician reverse. So exhausted that you don't think you have it in you. And like on certain mental level, this is a divine choice, okay? And what as in what I'm getting is like you may have made this choice pre-birth, Cappy. Why? Because it's a choice that's been made as far as you made the choice to go through this. You made the choice to go through this because the Ten of Swords is here. Ten of Swords almost always, to me personally, is very karmic. As in, we choose to go through these cycles to learn, right? To grow, to expand. Star card. So the recognition, let's get a little bit more. From some of you are healing from a King, a Sword, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They're in the reverse. They're probably shady as anything or just liars or something like this. I'm not, as in, this is an energy where you've been coming from. Do what you like with the genders, okay, but this would be somebody like manipulative, somebody who's probably jealous of you, especially with the nine of Wands and like the star card. Like even if you haven't seen the recognition, even if you haven't necessarily seen the manifestation of everything you've worked for, you've worked really, really hard. And like people around you might have seen that star quality, even if you were in the shits, even if you were like, I don't know. And they're like, yeah, you shouldn't believe in yourself. And this is like that Ten of Sword energy. And Ten of Swords is obviously mega, mega painful. But the beauty of the Ten of Swords is that it's over. And this to me, karmically, like these are cycles where you've got people talking shit behind your back. These are people who, like, without being melodramatic, these are people that want to destroy you, want to destroy your reputation. But let's be real. Some people actually call Pluto energy the destroyer. And so, you've had people who want to tear you down, to destroy your dreams. And they're all part of this sort of cosmic web of creation, the dynamism of the earthly existence, right? Hence where we can, any self can get to different points of life and forgive it all. Because all the different people in our lives, right, regardless of whether they were perceived as good or bad or right or wrong, you can get to different points in your life and just be like so grateful and so thankful for existence itself, that everyone and everything, including the people that did us wrong, it's like, oh my God, I'm so thankful even for that, even for them. Because without that experience, you wouldn't be who you are, right? It's a classic thing. It's like all this hardship. And honestly, you might have been at that point. Nine of Wands reverse. It's ten of Sword and the world reverse. Is like you are likely at a point, or you got to a point where like, is it even worth it? right? Like, what's the point? Only because I'm getting a sense from the World card. Been a while. So you've been working on something for maybe 7 years or 9 years or 10 years even, but this is like a World reverse is really indicating the 7 of Pentacle, which is the manifestation. So it's like when it's all lost, or when your world is completely tits up, pardon the French, or pardon the kind of like the world, like one last destroyer, one big final holy effing whatever, I can't go back to that world. Maybe because of a person, Mercury retrograde, right, in your 8th house, more than likely, which are which to me is a signature of past people coming back, right? Maybe looking at sex, intimacy, inheritances, other people's resources. But the King of Swords energy, they wouldn't have been bringing a lot to the table anyway, other than this potential destroyer energy, which you're like, oh my God, I have to get away from these people. I have to get away from these energies. Why? Because I want to feel successful. And when I'm around these people that want to destroy me, I can't feel successful. And they don't want me to be successful. They just want to use me for whatever they want to use me for, right? Magician reverse. This is kind of big, actually. The star card, this is like healing from a major cycle. Oh, and because I'm looking at the 10 of sword, the major cycle, right? Major cycle, 10 into the 1, magician's a 1, but you're wanting, I kind of get a sense too, like that success card, the 6 of wands being over top of that star. I kind of get a sense of like divine healing. Like you won't see it coming. We can't predict like I'm going to be recognized by everybody. This isn't about that. This is just you finally getting like reaping your rewards of a lot of hard work and probably karmic. What's why magician in the reverse over here? Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's like you just make a decision. And I think because we've now got Mercury stationing, I'm recording these nearing the end of August. Patrons get first access ad-free. They also get a private weekly reading just for patrons. And I've got something in my eyeball. Quite annoying. So, yeah, the magician in the reverse is like you making the choice. Oh, I couldn't. I'll just go back into these old fucking patterns. I'll just look at all the work I've done and listen to other people who tell me I haven't done all that work, or I'll just let other people get into my head and tell me I'm not good enough, or I'll just listen to other people who don't believe in themselves and deny my experience and pretend like I don't believe in myself either. Like this is kind of that, because you're in the fray of this ten of swords. So you might be feeling rough. You might be feeling really tired. But I'm here to tell you, I am here to tell you there is a success in a dream. There's, pardon me, there's a recognition and or a feeling of success coming in around a dream come true, a wish fulfillment, star card, upright. After everything maybe seems like all is lost or your world gets flipped upside down, you know, exhaustion, tired, not having the energy. There could be this feeling too, like you don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to put into that world anymore. I'm exhausted. You know what? I don't want to speak to that person. That's a choice. Remember, you choosing your success might just be that choice is simultaneously not choosing to go back to other people, not choosing to engage with energies that fill your mind with doubt, or worse, like disempowerment. Who do you think you are? You know, that classic fucking... And again, there's all discernment around all of it, because there is that. You think about big diva energy or big just celebrity stuff where these people aren't really nice to common folk. And so there's a part of that. Like, who do you think you are? Just because you have more money or just because it doesn't mean you're better than other people. It doesn't give you the right to treat other people like crap, you know? This energy is coming out more. You have integrity here. So I would like follow through with that, you know? Trust yourself. This is to thine own self be true, right? You've got it made, I'm hearing. You've got it made, Capricorn. Just give it your all now. This final push through into November, these next couple months, for real. I know you're probably like, okay. Like this whole cycle, 2008 until recent months, that, oh my God. You know, like proper destroyer energy, and yet we're here for it. That's the thing about learning astrology. It's not outside of you. Astrology is just reflecting like your innate soul's wisdom in relationship to the cosmos and earth. I sometimes explain to people, I'm like, you can deny the efficacy or the truth of what astrology is trying to show us, but again, that would be like if you were in a vacuum. If we could prove, yep, this little earth rock station in space is in a vacuum. There's nothing else. Which would then, I guess, disqualify the idea of what astrology is representing to us. But that's not the truth. We're not in a vacuum. We can clearly see that this earth that we're relating, that earth herself has a relationship with the sun and the moon. So if that's the case, we must too. And the deeper you go within self, it's just apparent. As far as these energy bodies, other planets, stars, whatever, they're there for a reason, you know? And why not? Why not interpret them? Why not work with them? Why not learn from them? Because a lot of us talk about astrology because it's been useful to us. You know, it's not there to be like, you have got the karma or like whatever, right? It's literally like the more I learn about it, the more I can understand and then make choices accordingly. Personally, keeping my mouth shut. Even though you guys like, wow, she talks a lot. But and in community, in relationship, and just not talking a lot. I would dare say because a lot of times it's falling on deaf ears anyway. We're not particularly engaged. We're not necessarily listening. Divine guidance, love and clarity. So, Ramblesaurus, we're going to crack on. We're going to keep pulling cards for you guys. So this Ten of Swords, finalement, you've got big stuff. Next couple months, you guys hold the fort. Cappy, hold the fort because you've got success coming in. You've got recognition. This is like this is the dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You are choosing this dream to come true now. Because remember when I was saying just magician reverse, you can choose to go back into old patterns. You can choose to go back into exhausting yourself for other people. You can choose to go back to people that make you feel like you don't have a choice, and then they end up double crossing you, or they end up stabbing you in the back, or they end up gossiping about you. You can go back, or you can keep moving forward, trusting what you've been manifesting, trusting what you've been seeding. Honestly, Cap, this is like mega supreme. Do not right now. Not for this month. All right? Not now. Not now. Not for this month. Don't listen to other people. The other energies around you are not like helping you out right now. Certainly not the mental state of the people around you. And I'm not saying these people are good or bad or right or wrong. I'm saying they can't help you. Yeah, I don't think they're good or bad. I don't think they're wrong or bad. I just think they're not you, and they don't know the journey you've been on, and they don't know where you're going, and so they can't really offer you advice. You have to choose. Are you going to choose your power? Are you going to choose your success? Are you going to choose your dreams come true? Or are you going to choose to listen to other people and be like, oh, okay, life is just shit. Life is just exhausting. Everything gets taken away from you. Everybody wants to destroy you, and I might as well just stay depressed. It's not you, Cappy. So these messages, yeah, sometimes they're just so clear that it's, yeah, as a reader, I've heard other readers say it too, but like you cannot make it up. Sometimes the messages are so clear, it just is what it is. But it's like you're going to have to find ways to lighten up, Cap. I know I joke about this, but those of you who follow my daily shares, I've been like booking tickets to go to festivals, and like it's like I have to work hard at trying to have fun. Sounds ridiculous for a lot of people. They're like, okay. But Capricorn, there's a serious energy to Capricorn. Capricorn, certainly on the ascendant line, but a lot of us would have had like more difficult upbringings or childhoods where like we had to grow up really fast, or and so like hanging out and being light and jovial can be a major challenge. Three of Cups is here though, and I'm thinking you gotta lean in. As in, lean into your good friendships, okay? Your good friends care about your success. Even though I know it might not seem like that, and or you might have trauma around that, which makes you feel or think that these people don't care. There's at least two other mates. There's at least two people in your midst. Because of the Three of Cups, you've got at least two people here that you can trust, Cap. You know who it is as well. You know who it is. This is indicating to me that you have some people around you that want the best for you and you want the best for them, and it's worth having good times. It's worth celebrating these energies. You guys, karma positive coming in. See? Pardon me. Here's the cue, right? There's an energetic gap here where it's like you go out, have yourself a good time. That could surprise you as far as what you just letting loose, having a frolic, having a good time, going out with your friends, letting go, not working, not focusing on work. That lift is part of that kind of shift that brings in the reward, that brings in the recognition, the success. Karma. It's your karma, baby. You haven't been through Pluto in your sign. As in, I want to say, you haven't been through the ultimate destroyer energy to come out the other side and keep getting destroyed. That's not what this is about. Thanks, though. But, I can remember 5 years ago doing a share, and somebody on the YouTube channel was like, sort of reflecting, you're in it deep. Like you're whatever they perceived. And I can remember just being like, oh God, I hope they're not right. They were. I at 5 years ago thought that everything would be fine. I just started and I just had like this last 5 years has just been more deep, shadowy shadow work, more having to let go, more radical psychological shifts. Like I'm really thankful for my career because teaching yoga and teaching meditation and working with tarot keeps me responsible, but I love it, and so it keeps me showing up. But if it weren't for that work, and that's again written in my birth chart, if it weren't for that work, I wouldn't, I don't know if I'd be here, like, not to be dramatic, just that's the joy. And a lot of us, I think, can see that or feel that, like when we maybe don't have loads of people in our lives, or seemingly like have to go through so much on our own, which to me is part of a spiritual awakening process. Self-reflection requires solitude. Solitude is on the surface aloneness, but yeah, going through all that is the refinement process. It's temperance. It's that kind of, how do we get to know this self if we don't live it, if we don't hence we can often get to these different points and go, as in that, when people talk about your present moment is actually like a past projection, and that's a head fuck, but it's very, very relevant because it helps to disengage the past. It helps to disengage the patterns of the past, especially when they're painful ones. Because there's trickery afoot. There's an aspect of it when we're doing self-regenesis, as in we're doing conscious manifestation work, we're working through the shadow. The shadow is everything we feel that we don't want to feel, that we don't want to think, all the shame, all the sorrow, all the betrayal, right? We get to live through it all. We get to experience it all so that we can be sovereign, so that we can be empowered, so that we can know the difference. As in, I can't do you for you, I can only do me. But sometimes when we're still in codependency, when we're still expressing aspects of the disempowered self, that expression projects onto other, right? And then we think, oh, they're this, they're that, they're that. But remember, everything around you is there for you to learn. And that's where, was I saying in this share or another share, but being able to get to the other side of something where you know you're in love, like you know you love yourself, you love other, you know that they were there to teach you, and there's no grievance. That's again, a lot of spiritual work is healing our heart of grievances. You know, when we're still when we're still angry, when we're still, those are anchored in grievances, which are a lack of forgiveness and compassion. It means we haven't fully owned that part of us. As in, we're still putting it outside, or that person, or but they're an aspect of self. Once we integrate that aspect, once we own that as part of who we are because we chose it, because then we can transform it. Some people use the word transmutation. Yeah, as in the good karma is coming for you. A lot of you guys are deepening your spiritual practice as well, as in like possibly becoming more metaphysical with your practice, more in the kind of meditation, imagination realms rather than getting really physical with the asanas. It might be that you're just this month having to take that little bit of time for you. Yeah, pranayama, dhyana. This is a deepening of your spiritual work for non-attachment. I think some of you are really, 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 truly letting go. And the Ten of Swords, again, Ten of Swords is a major karmic cycle. With the Star card, world reverse, you've completed. You are in completion. And then you're like, yeah, but how do I, well, you choose. You have to choose your power. It's not, thing is, that's another thing too. If there's externals, if we've created the illusion of separation and there are external powers, the moment of birth, you could say, is a moment of that power is going to be projected external because of the collective paradigm, right? So we're, from that moment of birth, there's that sense of like, these people are powerful, those so the whole kind of process and journey of life is pulling it back in, right? Integrating, embodying, I am that power, I am that power. Hence, to me, the real efficacy and truth and the miracle of manifestation, not through control. Most people are like, oh, I just manifest, but there's, the way we understand manifestation is very different. Plus, we have an economic inheritance, right? So, as in the financial classes kind of stuff is always there, but it's something that doesn't want to get discussed, right? Because it's another layer where people have an upper hand. And it's kind of shameful to look at that, right? Because where it comes from is enslavement, usually. When, it's just, it is what it is. Where it comes from is enslavement, oppression, enslaving a whole group and race and class of people, and a few generations later trying to pretend like that didn't happen, right? So this is what we're facing collectively, is like all of this inherited wealth or generational wealth, or any of us essentially on a healing journey, we be working with our ancestors, know that. And it's the ancestors coming more and more online as we continue to heal more and more and more, that are going, that isn't authentic wealth, or that isn't true power, or, and it's not dissing on inheritances. It's not dissing on, because a lot of us might have that, but it's what we're choosing. And here's a piece. If we're holding on to that as part of our power, it's more than likely draining the effing life out of us. And it's hindering our progress forward, more than likely. Not always, obviously. But when we're leaning on it, or when we're just fucking unconsciously stuck to it, right, as part of our identity, that's the non-attachment energy. That's where we're being asked to let go and choose you. Choose your power, your innate essence and light and power, instead of the external stuff that's far less powerful, because it's only an illusion of our own creation. But there again is where we're continuing to bridge these ideations as a collective. The more of us believe it, the more of us believe it, the more of us can see it, the more of us can see it, then everyone can see it, then everyone knows it's true, right? And that's what's happening, is that we're shifting the frequency via the experience that we're demonstrating to one another. As in, we're not sit down and listen to the teachings, be the teaching, and you feel it and you want it to, and thus we can reflect and support and guide and love and shine, right? But it's not the old way anymore. Yes, Jupiter abundance. Final messages, final cards here for my Cappies. Cappies, the biggest message coming through is you are choosing. You choose, and my lovers, choose you. Choose your abundance. Be you. Choosing you and your power is what's going to open you up to receive. Some of you might need to lean into like a friendship or two just to go out, have a good time, let loose a little bit. But then there's another layer to all that, where it's like also a deepening of your spiritual practice, as in you're going deeper into your beingness, into your totality. Maybe even from one angle, you could say you are graduating your consciousness into a higher or deeper state of being, as in you've mastered the asanas, and now you're deepening the pratyahara, or the pranayama. You're going into pranayama, you're going into deeper states of meditation. Maybe. Alrighty then. And then the Jupiter card, abundance is here. So yeah, I mean, with the success and the star card, some of y'all, this is money. Money, more than money. This is your resources. This is you up leveling. I just get like this big like expansion. Maybe loads of sales, or well, here we are too. We're looking at September. There's definitely can you guys see that? You that looks like a harvest to me. Like the Thanksgiving holiday, they'd always have those like pumpkins and various green and orange things. There's an orange, there's grapes, there's wine. This is very much to me like the harvest time, which September, I don't know food seasons enough, but I'll remind you, Cappies, you got to choose. God, it makes me think of the subtlety of these things, where it's like, this is what we don't accept when we're too anchored in the misery, and we're anchored in this, in the separation consciousness, right? Versus the unity consciousness that we're always choosing. And this is more where we might get to some of these readings and be like, fuck, I was meant to see that reading. Why? Because I have to choose. As in, if you don't choose, you're more likely going to go back into old patterns. When you choose, you're like, I am having fun. I am getting my reward. I am reaping my effing harvest. I haven't worked that hard to go back. There's a piece here that going back, there'll be somebody wanting to pull you in. That's where you're leaning in with good friends, because there's a couple energies that are reversed here that might pop up, especially let's put it out there, if it's apparent that you're going through a glow up or whatever, or if you're manifesting more recognition and more financial success, or just like recognition would be often translated to like, well, they're clearly doing better financially if they've got this promotion or something. And so somebody's like seeing the recognition success, being like, oh, maybe I should reach out to Capricorn. Again, what resonates. And you guys will be like, yeah, I know exactly who you'd be talking about. And I'll have the courage to say no. I'm going to leave it there, Cappies. Have a great month of September. Let me know if that resonates with you guys. I love doing these readings. I love meeting you guys, sharing. Again, we typically here will remove hateful, trolly, just like crap comments that are just rough or mean towards myself or anyone else in the community. But otherwise, it's great to get to know you. This community is so Holly Shazam. I absolutely love it. Thanks for supporting All to Love. Thank you for choosing love and choosing you. Don't forget to choose your abundance, your freedom. We're in it. It's time to reap the rewards, especially for all these cardinal signs. You have been through it. You deserve it, because as we move forward, this cardinal energy, you got to get out there. It's time for that cardinal energy to really be leading just your own life. You know what I mean? Just in your own life that you can really lead. So have a fab month of September, Capricorn. I'll look forward to seeing you guys next month. Take care. Peace out.